guys, my name is Tomie, and today I'm here to do my October wrap up. As you can see, today is Halloween. Well, if you don't know, right now it is Halloween and I am dressed as Tomie. In October, I read 16 books, which is a pretty good number. Oh my god, my favorite thing to read is horror manga. It's so freaking fun and good, creepy, scary. So I read quite a few popular horror manga, so I'm very excited to talk about them in this video. Of course, we have to talk about Tokyo Ghoul Volume 1 to 5. This is by Sui Ishida. So as you can see, I have the first 5 volumes and I read all 5 volumes in October. I will definitely continue with this series in the upcoming months. So you'll see Tokyo Ghoul a lot because I really enjoyed this series. Basically, the first book is about a main character named Ken Kaneki. He goes out on a date with this girl, but turns out she's a ghoul. If you don't know, ghouls live in this world and they eat human flesh. So of course, people are terrified of ghouls because they eat people and that's not okay. He goes out on a date with this girl and then she wants to eat him, but things go wrong really quickly and then he becomes a ghoul. So his predicament is a little bit different because he's human and ghoul. The first volume was so freaking good. It's so violent. Let me read you the trigger warnings. Oh my god, I did not put it in this. Wow, real quick, let me read you the trigger warnings. So this applies to almost all of the volumes that I've read so far. Violence, death, murder, and then decapitation. We have seen so many characters get their head chopped off, and honestly is so graphic because obviously this is a manga, so you actually see everything that is depicted in the books. So the first volume was amazing. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, I believe, because I had so much fun reading this because it was just different from anything I have ever read. It's a little bit funny, but I mostly really love the violent part because oh my god, it's so graphic. Volume 2 is also amazing. I'm pretty sure I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars because it was so freaking good. Oh my god, this one was really sad. And then volume 3, 4, 5, I have given all 3 volumes 4 out of 5 stars, I believe. We're getting some new characters and of course they're very interesting, but they're also very scary. Like this guy right here, the gourmet, I'm literally terrified of him because he will go to great length to eat our main character Kaneki. So it's very scary, but so far so good. I really want to continue with the series. I really want to finish it before the end of this year and I'm pretty sure I can. The next book that I read is Parachutes by Kelly Yang. There are a lot of trigger warnings for this book: rape, sexual assault, bad parenting, drug and alcohol abuse, bullying, racism, cheating, and emotional abuse. So basically this book follows our 2 main characters named Claire and Danny. Claire is from China and in the beginning of this book her parents basically sent her to the United States to go to high school, and basically Danny's mother rents out like a room for Claire. So like she's, damn it, there's like a term I totally forgot, but basically Claire is living with Danny for like a few months because she's, you know, going to the same high school. The girls are completely different, however they're both going through some horrible shit regarding rape and sexual assault. So Danny is actually sexually assaulted by her favorite teacher, and then of course we have Claire who gets raped by her ex-boyfriend. He's literally the fucking worst. This book is honestly a commentary on the fact that the school that they go to is willing to put the students under the bus just so they can keep their pristine reputation. It's honestly so fucking horrible. This book, oh my god, it was really hard to read at times because there's like a section that's a little bit long, and I'm not gonna lie, I feel like there's like a few parts in this book that could have been cut off because there are times where I'm just like, dude, it feels like this has been dragged out for quite a while. However, the message of this book and the characters, I really find them very important. First of all, let's talk about the main characters. Sorry, I'm like rambling all over the place right now, but it's just because I'm tired. Nothing new. I really adore the 2 main characters, Claire and Danny. They're very different from each other, but you can tell that they're not bad people, but they do make bad mistakes. So keep that in mind. Yeah, this book's very great. I really enjoy it. I love the writing, I love the characters, I love the message, the commentary, everything. So I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. If you want to read it, then of course highly recommend this book, but just so you know, this book is very heavy because it deals with rape and sexual assault. The next book that I read is The Black Kids by Christina Hammonds Reed. I actually read this book with Donna. The trigger warnings: racism, cheating, parental abuse, police brutality, and talk of suicide. So this book takes place in 1992, around the time when the Rodney King trial was going on. Our main character, Ashley, she's a senior in high school. She's about to graduate and she's just like hanging out with her friends, and then she gets roped into the situation. I know that I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's because I genuinely don't remember what happened in this book. Oh my god, this book, I really want to love it, but I end up giving it a 3 out of 5 stars, I believe, because throughout this book I was just like, where are we going with this? I feel like we really focus on her friend group and that whole boy situation. Oh my god, I don't care about her friends, the boys. I don't, okay? I care about what's going on in the real world, like the Rodney King trial, the police brutality, the racism. Can we talk about that? And I feel like we really don't. And I like to say that this is a commentary on the fact that the main character, who's pretty privileged, she chooses not to pay attention to like the ugly stuff because goddamn, we really spend a lot of time on her friends. Also, I don't like the fact that she has been fucking around with her best friend's boyfriend. That's not okay. I hate the fact that that happened. Now, I will say, I don't like the guy Michael, okay? I will hold him responsible, but then also I'm gonna hold Ashley, the main character, responsible because she participates in this willingly. So I'm editing right now. I want to come in here and say that the best friend of the main character, Ashley, she sucks because she's really racist. She says the N-word twice or 3 times in this book, I don't know, but she's racist, she sucks. But the whole cheating part, I hate it so much. So yeah, I just want to come in here and say that the best friend suck. Majority of time, I'm not a big fan of the characters, I guess, like the main character and her friends. I literally don't care about them. I was devastated by the end because I wanted to really enjoy this book, love this book even, but man, at the end I'm just like, wow. I feel like we barely pay attention to the real issue regarding police brutality and the Rodney King trial because we spend so much time with the main character and her friends. Oh wait, let's talk about the grandmother and her storyline. Oh my god, that was so important. Literally after I read that chapter, I was like, why isn't this relevant throughout this entire book? Because I feel like when we get to that part, it's towards the end of the book. I really did not love this book, and yeah, I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. I don't hate it, but also I don't love it. In October, I started a new series, and it is the Trials of Apollo series. This is book 1 to 4. So I read these books with Jonathan and Tiffany. Let's talk about the first book real quick. Some trigger warnings for this book: violence and emotional manipulation. If you don't know, this series follows Apollo, the god Apollo. He is basically mortal, a regular human being throughout this entire series because his father is pissed at him. He befriends a girl named Meg. So in this book, they go to Camp Half-Blood, and it's so nice to see some of our favorite characters like Percy, Rachel, Will, Nico. So this is a decent first book in my opinion. It's really not my favorite because holy shit, Apollo really pissed me off. He's just very self-centered, you know. At the same time, I will say that I'm very glad to see Apollo like this in the very first book because there's more room to grow as a character throughout this entire series. This book was okay. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5 stars. As for the second book, The Dark Prophecy, wow, this book was really good. There are some trigger warnings for this book: vomiting, murder, violence, and decapitation. Oh my god, wow, this book is a lot better than the first book, obviously, because now we're leaving Camp Half-Blood and we're going somewhere else. We're meeting new characters. I will say it's probably not my favorite, but I really enjoy seeing how the old stories are being incorporated in this book in particular, because there's an emperor named Commodus, and turns out he has like this past history with Apollo, and we get to learn about them, and it's really shocking, like how he was Apollo's lover, but not just that, he was killed by Apollo himself. Like that's really crazy, and I've never heard about that, so it's actually nice to see that story again and see how it affects everything in this book. I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars. And now The Burning Maze. I cry so much reading this. Okay, let me read you the trigger warnings real quick. Violence, murder, death, and attempted suicide. You guys, I cry so much. Like, yes, we get to see some old characters again, but my god, this book really punched me in the face. I will say the last 200 pages was amazing because it was really funny. So like we get to see Apollo, Meg, and Grover work together, and oh my god, I was literally laughing my ass off when I was reading this book. But then of course there were a few sad moments in this book as well. It really fucking hurt me more than I thought, because here's the thing, I know the spoiler, okay? I know of it before I started the series because my dumbass got spoiled on Wiki and on Instagram. So of course when I went to this book, I was very nervous, and wow, I cried way more than I thought. So this book was amazing. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5 stars, I believe. It was really, really good. And now The Tyrant's Tomb. I just finished this book right before I filmed this video, so it's like pretty fresh in my mind. This book, are there any trigger warnings, violence and murder? I feel like this book isn't. Actually, there's a whole battle at the end, never mind. Again, it's really nice to see some of the old characters again, like Reina. I love Reina so much. Okay, Reina and Frank, I love them so freaking much. Oh my god, and it's so nice to see them again in this book. And then of course we have to fight the emperors. Oh, if you don't know, the main villains in the series is basically the emperors, like Nero, Caligula, Commodus. This book, did I cry? I cry. Yeah, I cry. I cried last night. And also, can we talk about the fact that God Apollo is the fucking worst? Basically, in this book, we learn a lot of stuff that God Apollo did. And the thing is, I like the fact that people in his life hold him accountable for his past actions. I really hope that he will be a better person by the end of the series. I gave this book a 4.5 out of 5 stars, I believe. Yeah, this book was actually really good and I really enjoy everything. The battle at the end, oh my god, I was so stressed. I cry. I don't want to talk about it. The next book is Logan Likes Mary Ann by Anna Martin and Gail Galligan. Since I am literally 5 years old, of course I have to read this graphic novel. Yeah, this is a graphic novel. Basically, this book is about a guy named Logan and how he has a crush on Mary Ann. Mary Ann also really likes him, and it's about them fancying each other. A complaint that I have is that we don't know much about Logan, the guy who has a crush on Mary Ann. All we know is that he moves to like where they live and he has a crush on Mary Ann. I feel like we should have developed his character a little bit more, like give him some backstory, some characteristics. But overall, this book is not bad at all. It's really, really cute and wholesome. Also, it reminds me of my childhood, which makes me very happy. So I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, if I'm correct. 4 out of 5 stars, yeah. The next book that I read is A List of Cages by Robin Rowe. There are a lot of trigger warnings for this book. Anxiety, bullying, death of loved ones, child abuse, emotional manipulation, claustrophobia, attempted kidnapping, and murder. Basically, this book is about our two main characters named Julian and Adam. Julian is living with his uncle who is a complete piece of shit, and he's going through so much at school and at homes. And Adam, who was Julian's foster brother years ago, he comes back into Julian's life and he's trying to, you know, befriend him, invite him to like different events. Oh, real quick, Julian is a freshman in high school and Adam is a senior in high school. So I have a very weird relationship with this book because at times I like it, then at times I'm like, I don't want to read this anymore because it's just so fucking depressing, and oh my god, it really brings me down. The pacing isn't the best in my opinion. At times I feel like this book is so slow, but then at times I'm just like, whoa, a lot of things are happening right now. Let's talk about the characters. Oh my god, Julian. I feel so bad for him. It's so horrible, like what his uncle is doing to Julian. I really hate the uncle because what he's doing to Julian is not okay whatsoever. Basically, this grown-ass man whips Julian everywhere on his body. And then this one time, he basically punches Julian with a conch shell. The final straw to this is that his uncle makes Julian lie in a trunk. You know, like the kind of trunk where people put their stuff in. Basically, the trunk is pretty big and Julian is a pretty small boy. So his uncle makes Julian lie in the trunk. He locks it and Julian is in there by himself. No food, no water, just him in the trunk. That is abuse, but on another level. And I was so mad at the uncle because here's the thing, I don't really get why he's doing shit like this. I feel like we don't know much regarding his backstory or like what shaped him into a person like this. Somewhere in this book, I remember him complaining to Julian about Julian, and he was saying how angry he was when Julian, as a child, as like a baby, like a 1-year-old, interrupting his own parents. And I'm sitting here like, wait a minute, so you hate your nephew because he acted like a child when he was a child? It's so weird how this man carries so much hatred for something that minuscule. I hate the uncle. Kind of wish we know a little bit more about the uncle, to be honest, because it's like, yes, it's easy to hate him, but at the same time, why are you this horrible to your nephew? Like, I genuinely don't understand. And Adam, he's actually very nice now that I think about it. He's a really nice kid and he is doing whatever it takes to like protect Julian. And I love the fact that he gets Julian into his friend group, and I love the fact that his friends, they love Julian, they're very nice to him. Is that all I have to say about this book? The ending is wild. So yeah, that's about it. I gave this book 3 out of 5 stars. It was not my favorite because like I said, at times I really enjoy this book and then at times I'm just like, I don't want to read this anymore. It fluctuates here and there, but overall I think the message is to be nice to people because you never know what they're going through. A boy like Julian, he's going through so much and of course he just needs a little bit of kindness in his life, and I'm so glad that Adam is there for him. And now let's talk about horror manga because like I've said, I love horror manga now and I really want to read more horror manga in the future. Of course, I read Tomie and Uzumaki by Junji Ito. But first, let's talk about Tomie. As you can see, I am Tomie. Oh my god. Trigger warnings. Murder, violence, cutting, suicide, hanging, cannibalism, emotional manipulation, and then pedophilia. Basically, Tomie is a femme fatale and she's very beautiful. A lot of men look at her and they really want to be with her, but then of course they go crazy and then they kill her and chop up her body parts. But then of course she comes back to life. So that's like her whole thing, is that she gets killed and then she comes back to life because her body regenerates. This book is really different because I view it as episodic. So of course we have a lot of chapters. This book is like at least 700 pages. So of course we get a lot of stories about Tomie. There are like a few chapters that are connected together because it tells like a story, but then there's like a few chapters that can stand by itself because it's just like one story. So my favorite stories are Hair and Adopted Daughter. Hair is so good, okay? It's a commentary on the fact that we have young teenage girls and they're willing to do whatever it takes to be beautiful. Hair is so creepy yet so fucking good. Like I can literally talk about Hair for days. And then we have Adopted Daughter, and I also love the commentary on that as well because it's about beauty and youth and how people will do whatever it takes to get youth. I will say that there are so many stories of men killing Tomie, and it's to the point where it gets repetitive because I have read so many stories where men love Tomie and then they kill her like immediately. So I think there is like a commentary to that. I can't figure it out, but overall this book is like really great. I feel the need to love it because I spent so much money on this book. It hurts my bank account. So of course I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. Honestly, I really enjoyed this book. Oh, the art. Can we talk about the art and how creepy everything is? I love it so much. Junji Ito, wow. I will say the best book from Junji Ito is Uzumaki. This book, I love it so much. The trigger warnings: violence, death, murder, animal death, amputation, cremation, natural disaster, and then displacement. This town that the main characters live in is cursed by spirals. It's really creepy. It's really scary too because there's like a part where we see the natural disasters and how everyone in this town gets displaced, and that is really fucking sad. Our main characters, I really like them because they're so chill. I love that the main character, her name is Kiri, I believe, she's really ordinary. However, the things that are happening to her and around her are not ordinary. It's very freaky and creepy, and oh my god, I lost my shit throughout this entire book. So the part that scares me the most is the snail. If you've read this book, you know what I'm talking about. The whole snail thing, I literally wanted to throw up whenever I see it because it's so disgusting. It's disgusting. Disgusting! I really love everything about this book. I love the art. I love the creepy factors. I love seeing the spiral and how it affects everyone. There's so many shit that happen in this book, and honestly, I love every single thing. It's so creepy, so different because spirals, you never think about spirals in a threatening way, but it turns out it's very scary. I give this book 5 out of 5 stars because oh my god, I love it so much. It makes me feel so many emotions. I was truly traumatized by the end of this book, but in a good way. The final book in this long ass video is A Reaper at the Gates by Sabaa Tahir. I read this book with Sandy from Sandy Reads a Lot. I'm so glad that I read this book with her. This is the 3rd book of the An Ember in the Ashes series. I read the first 2 books a few months ago, and then of course I really want to continue with the series because the final book is coming out in December. Of course, the trigger warnings on violence, physical abuse, murder, and then war. I am so sad to say that this is not my favorite book of the series. I know. I really wanted to enjoy this book, but for a majority of the time, I was either confused or bored. Like I've said millions of times, my favorite point of view is Helene. My love for Helene has grown so much in this book because I really enjoy her chapters. But not just that, I love her as a character. I love seeing her grow so much, and by the end of this book, oh my god, oh my god, I love you, Helene. Laya and Elias, I really enjoyed their characters as well. I think the reason why I really enjoy Helene's point of view is because I'm familiar with her story and the characters in the chapters. You know, we see Harper, Marcus, the Commandant. I'm familiar with those characters because I've seen them before. As for Laya and Elias, I was so confused and sometimes bored because I was so confused. The characters in their chapters are new. The whole storyline is new. We get new shit, and for a majority of time I just didn't know what was going on, so that's why I didn't love their chapters as much. The ending, oh my god, that whole war section, like yes, there's like a war going on, a huge battle, so many people die, and I was so stressed out. Did I cry? I don't remember crying. Interesting. I'm very excited for the last book of the series, which is really crazy. So I think I gave this book 3.5 out of 5 stars. Cannot wait to read the final book in December because I'm pretty sure I will read that in December. Like, I do want to finish this entire series. So those are all of the books that I read in October. I am so tired. It's 8 p.m. right now. I've been filming for like an hour because I talk too damn much. You should know that by now. I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I hope you guys are taking care of yourself. That's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.